Good morning. I am doing another list review. This one is for Winter War in Dunfermline, I think it's called. I'm not really good at some Scottish names. Yeah. Anyways, um, it's in the it's in Scotland. It's called Winter War. I think it's on their Facebook page if you want to go and check it out. Um, Euan, who sent me a list before, has sent me his British list for this event. It's a 1250, 18 order dice cab, and double platoon, double platoon event. So let's go and see what he is doing, shall we? Right, this is it. We have 18 order dice on the dot, so he is using the maximum amount of order dice he is allowed. 1250 points as well on the dot. That is pretty good. It's always nice to see every point spent. He starts out with a second lieutenant, regular, and double infantry. So this becomes an extra infantry unit. I'm becoming more and more of a fan of this route of doing it. Yes, they do become more expensive, but they're way more usable, and you get the submachine guns for free. So in my non-competitive lists, I'm playing around with the idea a lot. Then we have two regular infantry sections, 9 men. These are skirmish sections. They have rifles. For me, they don't need to be 9-man units, although it is nice to have a bit of more weight to regular units. We have a free forward artillery observer with an extra man. Again, chunking out the units, making them more survivable. Vengeance. Ooh, I love Vengeance, especially if you have a mixed army where there's maybe some infantry and some vehicles and you have some skirmish capability. Then Vengeance is the way to go because it affects everything. Everything benefits from it. Then we have a regular medium mortar with a spotter. Lovely, lovely, lovely. A sniper veteran to win the sniper duel. A regular flamethrower, a regular peer team. Wow, you're just picking all the nice bits out of the bin here. That is beautiful. And a light artillery howitzer 25-pounder AT shell. This is really a strong set of teams you have in this platoon. Lovely. Very, very strong and for a good price as well. The Lancaster 6x4 armored car. I'm not a huge fan of the Lancaster. It does have 10 MMG shots, but you can get 10 shots for cheaper. It does have 7 plus and recce. It's close topped. I just think there are better armored car choices in the British selection of those, and that's why I don't usually use the Lancaster. It's compared to some of the things you get when you're playing Germans or what have you. This is perfectly fine. I just think there are better ones. And then Bren carriers. One, two, three, three Bren carriers. This is really strong. These Bren carriers are mini tanks. There's simply no other way of describing them. And each of them can carry 5 men. They have a forward-facing LMG and a pintle-mounted LMG, and you can use both weapon systems if you're carrying if you're carrying passengers that can sort of fire one of them. So they can split fire, and that makes them into a mini armored car, mini tank. They are really good against infantry, and at the same time, they of course carry a load of nasty stuff. We'll get back to them because we're going to try and predict what he's going to put into these tanks. A Darker Steward with the LMGs, notice here that when you're playing Brit, you can't get the recce version of this Steward, which makes them a little bit more vulnerable, but of course also a little bit cheaper than what you would run if you were running Americans or Soviets. And a second platoon, another officer, this one inexperienced, the tax being paid, and two paratroop veteran sections, 5 men. They are going to go in one of those Brent carriers each. And another piece of artillery, this one medium, yeah, with a spotter and regular. So double artillery, lots of good infantry units here. Although you could have stuck in a few more infantry units, but then you would have to cut something else out. I like it. Points well spent, mostly. The only thing I'm doubtful of is the Lancaster. I think you could have gone with a better armored car, or maybe even use the points for a second tank. But as is, it's very nice. You have a sort of pseudo tank army here with all these armored vehicles. You have 5 armored vehicles, and at the same time you have loads of artillery with the mortar and the 2 artillery pieces. You have a fair amount of infantry, especially boosted up with these extra units that can sort of act as infantry as well. Really good. I am guessing that the lieutenant, 3 men with either the Piat or the flamethrower, will go in the final Bren, because that will mean that you can move your lieutenant up, get out, SMG, whatever, and then jump out with the flamethrower and absolutely murder the crap out of that unit you just hit. And the other 2 will be used for the Paris. Right. Very good list, Euan. And good luck at Winter War. Cheers.